Crazy. Okay. All right, guys, welcome to our exciting team call tonight. We have a very special guest with us. I'm going to let Jen actually introduce her, but I wanted to tell you guys a really freaking awesome announcement for you guys. Mark your calendars right now for February 15th to get on this. Actually, it's not going to be a Zoom call. It's going to be just a regular webinar. I booked Ray Higdon to talk to our team on February 15th. I'm not even joking. Like, the Ray Higdon is going to be talking to our team on February 15th. Yes?
Nicole's face is so funny.
Mark it on your calendars. He's going to be using his webinar service, so we don't have to worry about maxing out. He has 1,000 slots. Well, we might max out anyways.
Yeah, we might max out.
But it's really exciting that we have that many slots to use, so we don't have to like freak out about getting here early or anything. So he's going to be talking to us about recruiting, and it's going to be an awesome call. So please just mark your calendars and be here for that. So with that said, turning it over to Jennifer to introduce our guest.
Yay, thank you. So I'm excited to be on the call tonight. Priscilla and I usually do our own little team call about an hour after you guys do yours. So we're usually preparing for that. But I wanted to, let me introduce it a different way. So I noticed, number one, that we have a ton of new people join the team, right? Every day we have a lot of new people joining. And number two, we have a lot of people that have experience in direct marketing and didn't have such a great successful outcome with previous businesses. And on the flip side of that, there's plenty of people who do not have experience with direct marketing. All of those things are perfectly fine to start this wine business off. And I noticed that we had a real need, because that's what I do. I'm a nurse. I noticed where we need, and I noticed that we had a real need for some social media training. And even more than that, we had a real need for branding and authenticity training. And I noticed that a lot of people were copying and pasting each other's posts, which is not so great. And it doesn't help you with your business. So I was thinking to myself, how can we help the other people on the team, or everybody on the team, even myself, with being more authentic, with branding yourself and not just selling direct sellers, because we're not here just to sell direct sellers. There's going to be plenty of us to do that. We want to connect with people that connect with us. And the first thing that popped into my head, and the first person who popped into my head, was April. April and I have been really close for a while now. She was actually my mentor and still is. And she helped me to rebrand myself. When I started my last business with Health and Fitness, you guys know what that company is. I was Power Couple O'Keefe Fitness. Yay. Like, it was all about fitness and health. And it really didn't brand me too much. And I met with April and worked with her one-on-one, and she mentored me to rebrand myself as Mama on a Mission. And my Mama on a Mission now has over 20,000 followers spread over 2 social media platforms, and it's killing it. And I owe all of that really to April, and she does so much. She is a mom of 2 in Houston, and she is just amazing. So she's going to talk to you guys about a lot of things that are going to help you with this business. So I suggest you get out some paper and a pen, or your Evernote, or whatever you do to save your notes. And I'm going to turn it over to her. Thank you so much again for being on the call tonight, April. It means a ton to me.
Awesome, girl. Thank you. I really appreciate you asking me to be here. Just such an honor to, be on the call and, talk to your team and just share what my experience has been. Over the last, I come from almost 13 years of direct sales network marketing experience. And my first 8 years of that was very rough. I was not successful at all. I really struggled. And the turning point for me in my business was really learning that it was about me. It was about people being attracted to me and my personality and who I am. And when that turning point happened, I hit six figures in my last company in 15 months. I went from working full-time, having a kid in daycare, to being home and being a full-time entrepreneur. And that was in 2011. And I haven't worked outside the home since. So branding has really helped me to understand how important it is. And as marketers, we have to understand that, people are attracted to us first. They're not really attracted to what we do. They're not attracted to our products, our services, our company, because there are so many people out there doing that. They're attracted to us first. And it's really important to understand that. One of the first things that I want to talk to you guys about and just try to kind of help you understand, most of the people on this call are probably using Facebook to build their business. If I had to guess, probably 99% of the people on this call are using Facebook to build their business. So it's important to understand how the Facebook algorithm works. And Facebook is tracking everything that we're doing. They did a major update in the month of June of last year. Last summer, they did one of their biggest updates to the algorithm. And before, the way that the Facebook algorithm worked is that it was based on the amount of engagement that you got, your likes, your comments, your shares. And so from there, that's how long stuff stayed in the news feed. The more likes and shares and comments that you would get on your Facebook post, the longer they would stay in the news feed. So what's happening is there's so many people who are competing for space on Facebook that, people are trying to post and get their things out there, but they're not really giving any value. And that's what people are attracted to. And one thing that Facebook has done a very good job is Facebook is constantly surveying their users. Constantly. What do you want to see in your news feed? What do you don't want to see in your news feed? They're constantly polling us to see what we want to see. And over and over and over, Facebook, their users keep telling Facebook that they do not want to be sold to. They don't want to see so many ads in the news feed. They don't, it's like they keep telling Facebook that, I'm here to socialize and I'm here to, socialize with my friends and family. I don't want to really be sold to all the time. And so in June, Facebook did one of their most aggressive updates to the algorithm. And what's happening is that Facebook is now tracking how long people are reading our Facebook post. Not just the likes, the shares, the comments, but how long somebody is staying actually on our Facebook post and reading it. They're actually tracking that. They're actually treating us like authors now. And so based on how long somebody is reading your post, they don't have to like it, they don't have to comment on it, they don't have to share it. How long somebody stays in the newsfeed reading your post is how long it's going to stay in the newsfeed. There's billions of posts going on Facebook constantly that Facebook has to gauge how long something is going to stay in the newsfeed. So now, instead of just tracking likes and comments and shares, they're tracking how long somebody actually spends reading your post. And so the value that you give, the kind of story that you share, the kind of creative content that you give is going to depend how long somebody stays on your post and actually reads it, or do they just keep scrolling? So it's really important when you're marketing on social media to be authentic, to really tap into who you are as an individual. Nobody can copy you. Nobody can duplicate you. Nobody has your experiences, your gifts, your hobbies, your interests. Nobody has your story. So it's tapping more into that and giving a lot of value and knowing that when people are attracted to you, they're going to be attracted to what you do. It's just kind of an organic thing that happens. Is, the more value that you give to somebody, the more that they're going to want to be in your space, the more they're going to want to know what you do. And so I know Jen mentioned a lot of the copying and pasting that goes on social media. Facebook is actually penalizing people who are copying and pasting. Facebook is tracking how many, if the first person that throws up a post, they're the genius. Everybody else that comes along and copies and pastes that same post, they're actually being penalized for that, and Facebook is not showing it in the news feed very long because it's copy and pasted. It's not authentic. It's not an individual post. It's not something that's unique to you. So when you're marketing on social media, it's really important to understand the platform that you're marketing on. And so, it's really just, understanding that the value that you give to people is what they're going to be attracted to. So what I want to try to help you do in this call is to really tap into who you are and the types of things that you can share in order to attract the right people to you. And, that way people are going to want to know more about what you do. So, it's really all about sharing, just to kind of simplify this a little bit, it's really about sharing who you are as a person and some of the things that you love to do. And it's also understanding that the people that you're trying to attract in your business, they have other interests. They have other things that they love, as well. It's not just wine. It's not just drinking wine. They have other things that interest them. Parenting concerns. Maybe some of them love to garden. Maybe they love interior design. It's, the things that you love, people are going to be attracted to you because of the things that you love, and then they're going to want to know about your business. It's also important to understand that with Facebook, it's against their terms and conditions to market a business on a personal page. They specifically in their terms and conditions mention MLM companies. You're not supposed to be marketing an actual business on a personal page. So it's really understanding that the value that you give to people is what they're going to be attracted to, and they're going to like, know, and trust you based on the value that you give. I know throughout the industry, we hear that all the time. People have to like, know, and trust you. So it's really about tapping into how do you get people to like you? How do you get people to want to know you? And how do you want people, get people to, trust you enough to join you in a business or buy a product from you? So it's really utilizing your strengths. Are you an extrovert? Are you an introverted person? Do you love to go out and network with people? If I was doing a wine business, I would be, doing a book club or a garden club. Those are reading and gardening are two things that I love to do. So I would be tapping into some of the hobbies and things that I love to do and getting people together where I could socialize with them and then give value around that, serve wine at the event, maybe have a virtual thing where, if you want to build more online, not so much local, have a virtual event where you can bring a tribe of people together and, give a lot of value around some of the books that you're reading, and turn it into a big, book and wine club type thing. Or, maybe you have, interest in gardening, whatever it is that you love to do. Maybe you love to write. Maybe there's things around writing that you love to do, and you can give a lot of tips and things like that to people. Do you love to do videos? There are some people that are very extroverted. They love to do videos. Facebook Live is a great way to do that. Maybe you love to cook, and you could do a Facebook Live, make it consistent where you do a Facebook Live video and you put together a really fun recipe that you found on Pinterest, and you actually prepare that recipe and then pair it with a favorite wine. And that way you give value to people. You solve a problem for them and how to whip up a quick meal for their family. And then you pair it with a great wine. At the end of it, you can talk about why this wine goes with this meal. And because you gave them value, they'll be a lot more just encouraged to buy from you because of that. Or they'll be intrigued, like, what is this wine thing that she's talking about? This seems really cool. So, it's just all about tapping into your strengths. And tapping into who you are and understanding that social media is really about marketing to people in a way that gives value. Jen mentioned about us meeting on Facebook. Jen was doing a fan page all around fitness. She had this great fan page. It was all her and her hubby and her kids. And I was really drawn into her. She didn't have anything about her past company on her fan page. If her fan page would have said her name and then the fitness guru and the name of her company, I would have skipped right over it, and I wouldn't have even liked her page if it would have at all said what her network marketing company was. Because I would have immediately felt like I was sold to. But because her fan page was all about health and fitness and inspiring people, I was really drawn into that. I started messaging her on Facebook. I started building a relationship with her. And, eventually her and I, trusted one another to work together. And that's such a beautiful way, an organic way to build a business, is really building those relationships with people where they really, they get that genuine vibe from you that you really care about them and their needs and who they are, and building a relationship with them and giving value. I loved going to her page because she would get up, and she still does it on her personal page. She'll do her little tidbits in the morning, and then she says, good morning or have a good morning. Jen always starts out the day with that little piece of inspiration on her page. And that is how Jen has branded herself. She's done such a beautiful job of that. She didn't give herself enough credit of that earlier, of how good she branded herself, because I was so drawn in with her and her energy. So that's what I was attracted to, and, learning from her and just her inspiration. And then, I kind of started watching some of her fitness stuff and what she was doing with that. She always gave value around meal planning and things like that. So that's one way that Jen has really branded herself, is giving a lot of inspiration to people. So it's whatever it is that you love to do. Are you a very spiritual person? Is there something going on in your life that you would really love to share with people? And that's what people are going to be attracted to. That was the thing that I was missing for so long, for 8 years, struggling in my company, trying to understand how to make this work, because I was too focused on what I was doing and what I was selling. And I wasn't focused enough on why I was doing it, why I wanted to serve other people, and really giving the value around that. And when the light bulb started going off and I started understanding how important attraction marketing is. You guys may, probably hear Ray Higdon will probably talk about, you'll probably hear him talk about attraction marketing. Ray was one of the very first people that I followed, him and Mike Dillard, where I really started to understand what it meant to give value to people and have people attracted to me, and what the value of that was. So, you'll probably hear him talk about attraction marketing, and that's really all it is giving a lot of value to people where they're attracted to you and what you're doing. And then they learn more about, what you sell and what you do, and joining you. And there's so many great ways to share on social media, just, who you are and what you're doing, and really inspiring people. It's just sitting down and understanding, what is the value that I have to give to people, and how do I want to deliver that, so that I stand out a little bit. So I'm not just copying and pasting somebody else's post. If you see something that somebody posted and it really inspired you, there's always ways to change it up a little bit. I go to Google so much and Google different quotes. That was one of the first things that I did when I really started to understand about how to brand myself, is I would go to Google and I would start looking at different quotes and pairing them with different images, so that my news feed would look consistent, but I would have something really inspirational to share every day that would really draw people in to what I was doing. And I ended up having so many people that would message me when I would share about my business, when I would share a promotion on our team, or, share something a little bit about the product, not trying to sell, but just trying to educate a little bit about the product. I would end up having people message me because of all of the inspirational tips that I would give. I'm a mom of 2 boys, so, I love to just do anything to uplift and inspire other moms. And so when I first started branding myself, that's what I focused on. It's just really inspiring and trying to uplift other moms, because that's what made me feel good. That's what helped me be sane throughout the day was, if I could uplift somebody else, it would help to uplift me too. So just thinking about ways that you can give value every day that's really unique to you, and how you can start building a following around that. And when you start attracting more people to you, you'll organically start attracting people to your business. That was really just what made such a huge difference in going from struggling in my company for 8 years and then hitting 6 figures in 15 months. Because I started focusing more on who I could serve and who I could inspire and who I could help, versus trying to constantly sell what I was doing. And because of that, people felt very inspired, and it just kind of spurred them to organically reach out to me and say, hey, I see that you're posting about this health and wellness company that you're doing. What is that? Can you tell me a little bit about it? I had earned their trust because of the value that I was giving on my page every day. And so because of that, it just completely changed my business. And it's the way that I've done business, ever since, just on a different level. So, Jennifer, do you want me to spend time, Sherry, do you guys want me to spend time answering some questions? I don't know if people have questions in the chat box. I'm happy to answer questions.
Sherry said if we have time, and it's not even 8:30, so I'm thinking yes, questions would be awesome. Sherry, are you okay with that? I have a question before we even unmute anybody. Yeah. I would love to hear an example of what you would suggest for, hold on, let me connect my headphones, sorry. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. What you would suggest for team promotion. You said team promotion posts.
Okay. Yeah. So in my last company, what I would do, because I wanted to just be, I love the power of a story. It's great to share promotions and people hitting ranks. But one thing that I found in trying to do this for 8 years that wasn't working, what I found is that when I could share somebody's story, it was one thing to say, congrats to so-and-so for hitting triple platinum, purple, whatever, that nobody really understands what that means. That doesn't really mean anything to somebody outside of a company. And so what I started doing in my other company was that I would go grab a picture. Jennifer, if you were on my team and you had just hit a rank, I would go grab a photo of you and your hubby and the kids, something that somebody could really relate to. Like if I'm trying to attract other moms into my business, I want them to see a picture of a real life mom with her kids, somebody that looks like an everyday person. If she can do it, you can do it. And I would focus on, Jennifer is a full-time nurse. She totally is rocking out her business. I love working with her. For me, promotions were an opportunity to edify the person that I was working with. It wasn't so much about the rank. It was about edifying who the person was in their everyday life and really celebrating them and showing a photo that most people could totally connect with and relate to. The more that people look, the more that people can relate to what you're posting, the more that they're going to feel like, okay, well, this doesn't really sound like it's that hard, or it doesn't sound like anything that I couldn't do in my business. She looks like an everyday mom. She's working a full-time job. So I tried to always share a story, and it always got me really good results when I started focusing on celebrating and edifying the person.
I just made a post while you were talking. It says, Mom has money left over after paying mortgage and grocery shopping. True story.
Yeah. See, I mean, most people, I think one of the misconceptions in this industry is that a story is not powerful unless the person earned a car and hit 6 figures.
Right.
Where most people are just trying to make their car payment that month. You know, for most people, just making their car payment, you know, and having their car payment paid for, or their groceries and their mortgage paid for, that's life changing for most people.
April, Anya wants to know, so should we not put the company name out there? Should we not be posting the company name?
No, I mean, I totally believe in being transparent. I mean, I think in the day and age that we are living in, that the more authentic and real and transparent that we can be, the more that people are going to be attracted to that. If it looks like we're trying to hide something, or it's not, that never worked for me. That, you know, for me, I have to be very transparent. I'm not saying it doesn't work for other people. Just for me personally, you know, when, you know, it kind of goes back to when people would ask me where I worked, you know, I wouldn't say, you know, well, I work at this oil and gas company, but I can't tell you the name of it. It's like most people can't relate to, why can't you just be open and real about what you're doing?
Right. Okay, Christy wants to know, I'm curious if share is different than copy and paste. So can you comment how much Facebook hates it when we share things from other people's profiles?
Yeah, the only exception on Facebook is video. So Facebook loves video. So if you share a video, it's usually going to have a pretty good edge rank. And edge rank is just a fancy term for how much... edge rank is just how much of a boost Facebook is going to give it in the news feed. So when you share something from somebody's page, it's very, very rare that I do that because the edge rank is going to be very, very low, which means Facebook is not going to keep it in the news feed for very long. If there is something that is on somebody's page that you just really loved, it's always better to, you know, copy and paste it. If it's their words, their story, or whatever, it's always better to copy and paste it, but always attribute it back to the person, depending on what it is. If it's business related, if it's a quote photo, something like that, I don't recommend just copying and pasting anything. I'm always about, when you put something on your Facebook page, it should be something that is in your voice, how you say things, what, you know, people should get a sense of who you are with the majority of what you share on Facebook, because that's what they're going to be attracted to. You don't want to attract them to somebody else's words.
Perfect. Carrie asks, do you have tips for people transitioning from one business to this new one? That's a big one that we have a little bit of a struggle with on this team, because we have a ton of people who are coming over from other businesses or integrating this one with another one.
Well, I mean, considering I struggled for 8 years and hopped around from company to company to company to company, I can totally relate to that. I always led with the product. When I was first transitioning out of a company, I wouldn't just immediately start blasting on my page that I had started something new. Again, I'm not saying that's not right for somebody. I'm saying that people should definitely trust their gut and trust their inner voice and what is right for them. For me, I always shared the product. So if I was leaving one business and coming over to a wine business, I would probably spend the first couple of weeks just posting a little bit here and there about wine, about a new brand of wine that I was trying, how much I loved it, or I was winding down and posting a picture of it where I could start generating some curiosity around the product and kind of ease into sharing a little bit more of it. So for me, I always focused on the product during a transition and just taking people on a journey with me and just sharing a story. And then I would, talk a little bit more about the business once I had gotten comfortable, just kind of easing into the product where it didn't look like, well, yesterday I was posting about shakes and today I'm posting about wine.
Right.
I wanted to kind of ease into that transition. The product and taking people on a journey, and just telling a little bit of a story here and there, hanging out with the kiddos, having a glass of Moscato and posting a picture of it. And then some people would go, oh, hey, what brand of wine is that? That's what you want. You want to take people on a journey and generate that curiosity.
Yeah, and that's a big one, because here's the thing. Every tip that April's giving you right now, if you're branding yourself as you, as Sherry Leisure, as Amanda, as Tara, if you're branding you as you, it won't matter what product you're doing. Your lifers will follow you regardless of what product you decide to do. And as long as you're branding yourself as you and not as a product, it won't matter what product you decide to do. You'll have a following regardless. I mean, we could be doing, we could be selling Play-Doh and then the next minute start selling this wine. And it would be a very easy jump for us because we've already created a following based on moms who love Play-Doh, who also probably love wine now because they love us, like April is saying. Yeah. What other questions do you guys have? You can either type them in if you're on the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask away.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Hey. Hi, April. Would you say with the new algorithms that it's pretty safe to say that not only while you're branding yourself, that you need to be posting probably 4 times a day, just so that it's, especially on the business page, to try and bring in that noticeability factor, I guess is the word I want. I was just reading something about that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so a personal page 4 times a day might be a little much on a personal page, as long as you're giving a lot of value. I've never posted 4 times a day on my personal page. Now, a fan page doesn't have any organic reach. So, fan pages are totally different. I'm posting 3 to 4 times a day on my fan page right now. And, I've built it very organically. So, those two, a business page and a personal page are totally different. So for people that are, sharing on a personal page, I would say 2 to 3 times a day is really, morning, noon, and night, to kind of give it a little bit of a break, see how your posts do. Whenever you're posting something on your personal page, just test it. Look at the engagement that you're getting. Are you asking questions? Are you sharing something that's inspirational? Every time you post something, don't criticize yourself for it. Just look at the amount of engagement that you got and say, how could I do that better? Could I be a little more creative next time? Could I post something that was a little bit out of the box and out of the norm? And you'll start to see how your followers interact with what you're posting.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I'm talking more on the business page thing. So would you also then say that it would be, because I know the copy and paste thing or the share thing is highly frowned upon. What if you took like one post from your business page? Would you share it from your business page versus post the same thing twice, basically?
I try to stay away from doing that, and I don't share I don't share stuff from my business page to my personal page. I'm at a point now in building online for 13 years that my personal page is very personal. It's my family, it's my hobbies, it's what I have to say as a person, it's my kids. I keep it very personal. My business page, I have a completely different strategy for. So if you're trying to build a fan page, you can boost. I mean, I started out doing like $10 a week on, Facebook ads, and boosted a blog post to get engagement. I'm all about giving value and then getting the engagement. So, with a fan page, I don't really recommend sharing like that, because again, the edge rank is so bad. You're going to share from your fan page to your personal page, and the edge rank is going to be so bad. People are not going to hardly see it at all anyway. Right. What you can do to make this easier on yourself is, this is what I do. I'll share a little bit of a strategy that I use. I go through, Facebook has this great resource where it has on this day, and it pulls up all of our Facebook memories from as long as we've been on Facebook. So I will go through stuff that has pulled up the last 9 years on my personal page, and I'll go through all of those posts, and I'll ask myself, is anything relevant? Could I give value? And a lot of my fan page content comes from my personal Facebook memories, because it takes the pressure off of me of coming up with brand new content every day. And so maybe I'll reword it a little bit. Something that I shared 6 years ago, I'll take it and reword it a little bit and craft it in a way that's aligned with who I am now.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I do. Every single good morning post you see was posted as a good morning that same exact day the year before. Oops. April, if you could talk a little bit just about the importance of a fan page, because a lot of people are asking right now if they should have a fan page. Is this something we should consider opening? Why should we have a fan page? Do we need a fan page? There's a lot of questions about fan pages.
Okay. So a fan page, you're just going to have to know that a fan page is going to be a slower build. But I am a huge advocate of a fan page because, again, it's against Facebook's terms and conditions to use your profile page. So Facebook is actively shutting people down, closing their profiles and their accounts that are trying to hard sell on their personal pages. I've had several people who have completely lost their accounts. That means they lose their groups and everything. So it's important to really kind of tread lightly with that. There's lots of ways to share on a personal page. Jennifer does such a great job of doing this, where she just takes people on a journey of coming home from a busy day of nursing, and I'm having a glass of wine, and she's sharing what she's doing, but in a way that's telling a story. In a way that's telling a story. That's a completely different energy than, hey, 2 weeks ago I started my wine business. Do you want to join yet? Okay, that's a completely different energy of sharing. So on a business page, you just have to know it's going to be a slower build. But our personal pages, we're limited to 5,000 friends on a personal page. Mm-hmm. A fan page is unlimited. Fan pages are also indexed by Google. Your personal page is not indexed by Google. So people that are looking for you, people that want to find you, they're not going to see content on a personal page. So you're creating content on a personal page that is not evergreen. It's not helping you grow. It's great to share, but a fan page is actually indexed by Google. So when you share on a fan page, you're actually attracting the right people to you. And I get new likes on my fan page every day, people who find my fan page. They go to my blog. They opt into my email list. And then that's how I upsell people. So, that's how I upsell people into products and services. So with a fan page, it's important to make sure that you're using your name. Please do not create a fan page that says The Wine Lady. Please do not brand yourself as a company or product. Use your name. People who are looking for you because they're indexed by Google, people that type in April Williams, if my fan page did not have April Williams on it, my fan page would not even be found. People would not even find it because my name is not in the title. So it's important to brand yourself as your name, and then figure out what is the type of value that I want to give on my fan page. For right now, if it's just inspiration, mom tips, that's fine. If you love health and fitness, still brand yourself around loving the things that you love to do, and then learn to weave your company into that. Learn to share and take people on a journey. I was probably on Jennifer's fan page when she had O'Key Fitness. I was probably on her fan page for probably 2 weeks before I realized that she was with a direct sales network marketing company. I just loved this chick that I found on Facebook, and just her love of life. That's what really drew me in, was just her love of life. And it wasn't until probably 2 weeks. If I had landed on her page and she had the name of her company in it, I would have just kept right on going. I would have just not even liked it or connected with her, because I don't want to see somebody's company. I want to see them. I want to get to know who they are as a person. And Jennifer just did such a good job of that. So I'm a huge advocate of fan pages. They do take time to build, but it's so long-term and it's so sustainable. And when you build a tribe of people like Jennifer was talking about, when you build a tribe of people around you, they will follow you no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing. When you've earned their trust, they'll buy wine from you, they'll buy services from you, they'll buy ebooks from you. You'll learn, you can monetize your platform in so many different ways.
All right, April, that was amazing. So Trey wants to know, if you were a wine rep with direct sellers and you were going to run Facebook ads, who and what demographic would you target and why? And I know exactly what you're going to say. You target your demographic for your personal likes, right?
Right. I mean, it's going to be who I am as a person. I would funnel in some other, with Facebook ad targeting, you can target other fan pages. So that's the one thing that I love about Facebook ad targeting, is that you can also target other fan pages. So I would tap into some of those things, like, I would start targeting, women who are a certain age range, who are moms, who love books and, gardening and homesteading, and some of the things that I really personally love, because women who are on a homestead raising 2 kids, they're also drinking wine. I don't need to just necessarily target wine drinkers. Most moms drink. I think that's probably a statistic. But I would also tap into some of the wine magazines. I would, target their fan pages. That's what I love about the Facebook ad targeting, is that you can target other fan pages. So I would definitely be targeting some of the, what is the popular wine magazine? I can't remember what the popular wine magazine blog is. Jennifer, do you know which wine magazine I'm talking about?
No. Sherry, do you know what that is?
I would be targeting their fan page.
I know there's like Wine Enthusiast and Wine Time is a big one.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So.
Yeah, so you can target actual fan pages. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, maybe we have time for like one more question. Everybody's talking about how important tribes are.
I think that somebody asked about a group. I see somebody ask about business groups.
Group.
You want me to address a business group?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, again, groups are not indexed by Google. You have to remember that all of the content and value that you give through your platform needs to work for you on a recurring basis. So if you have a Facebook group, it's not being indexed in any way. It's not helping you grow. It's not helping your brand grow. And so I'm not a big advocate of Facebook groups unless you just have a group that you want to start. And so you have a fan page where you can have a group that you can funnel people into on a more intimate level. You can do that if you have the time to keep up with it. But it should be a fan page first, building a following around that, and then funneling people into a more intimate space where you can give value around something and upsell you. I mean, that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to upsell yourself so that people are attracted to you and the value that you give to them.
Perfect. Yeah, Sherry said it's just a place to put your warm market.
I personally can't stand groups.
Yeah.
We're so grouped out, it's not even funny.
First of all, we're.
I mean,
another thing, I cannot stand being added to groups. It drives me insane, and I know it drives a lot of other people insane too. Literally, like a few days ago, I left a group 4 times, and she kept adding me back into it. I'm like, when is she gonna get a clue? Like, it drives me insane being added to groups. So I never do that to people.
Yeah. If there was if there was one example that I could give you guys on the power of a personal brand and she is a household name, it's Martha Stewart. Okay. So when you think about who you are as a person, okay, Martha created a personal brand that she gives a lot of value around. You can go to Martha's blog right now and download blog posts, free templates, free everything. She gives value first, and then she upsells people into products. She has done a very good job of focusing on the things that she loves in her life, which is entertaining, which is gardening, which is decorating, which is crafting, organizing, all of these things that she loves to do. And she knows her target market. Her target market is the Susie homemaker who wants to have a home that is, nice. And, Martha's whole brand promise is high quality and excellence. That's what she has built her brand on. So when you think about, people like Martha who have done such a great job of personally branding themselves, she's not marketing Martha Stewart living on her personal page. Mm-mm. She's not adding people to a group. She's giving value on a fan page, on social media. She has a blog, and she's built a brand around herself, and she's built that like, know, and trust factor. And because of that, people want to buy her sheets and her roasting pans and whatever it is that she's selling because of that. So that's a great example of how much a personal brand and how powerful that can be and how unlimited it is.
Brandon wants to know, as male entrepreneurs, do we still do stories, or do people look for something different or a different style? Trey said we grow beards.
Hey, for me, it's all about letting your personality shine through like that. It's all about just letting your personality really shine through and people seeing that, and letting people really be attracted to that. So, hey, beards with glitter. Hey, yeah, do a video with some glitter in your beard holding a wine glass. That's awesome. I love it.
Mute myself. Isn't that a Macy's ad? I think wasn't it something you sent to me? I can't remember. Somebody sent me a Macy's ad. Yes, Nordstrom. It was like the best ad ever.
It is. It is.
Fan page versus biz page versus all the other. What's the difference? So a fan page and a business page are the same thing, Terry Martin. Okay. Sherry, are you ready to end the call? Okay, good. All right, so I think we got I know we have a ton of tips from April because I took a ton of notes. Yeah. And I've been working with her for years. I already took a ton of notes. So, April, do you want to offer the team a way that they can continue to work with you and get tips with you? Is there any call to action that you'd like to add?
Oh, girl, I sent you I have like a 34-page or 31-page 10-day brand plan that I sent you for your team that I put together. So you can shoot that out to them, and all of my information is on there. So anybody that wants to get connected, but it's more in depth than what I went through here. But it's a 10-day brand plan. They can start on day one and start to implement everything.
Perfect. And I can attest to anything that April touches turns to gold. And it's common sense, but it really just helps to break down what your brand is, how to reach people and be authentically you. And this is especially important with the launch, right, guys? Because we're going to be launching in February or the end of February, and a lot more people are going to be direct seller representatives than just our group of 10,000 people that we have now. I don't even know what the number is now, and not to say that it's going to get saturated, but it's going to be important that you are authentic. Oh my God, I can't even say it. Authentically you. Because that's what's going to make you stand out, and that's what's going to bring people to you that work with you. I could brand myself to someone totally opposite of what I want to work with all day, but that's not going to grow my business because those people are going to butt heads with me all day long. We want to work with people that are like us, that have the same goals as you and aspirations. And that's what this really is all about. It's about building a business of people that work well with you. So yes, the vibe attracts the tribe. And I just want to say that I really appreciate April for getting on the call tonight, for sharing all of this with us. I will find a way to upload her document into our Wine Warriors team page file section so that everyone can access it. And if you guys want to reach out to her, privately and ask her any questions or connect with her, then feel free to do so. Thanks so much, April, and thanks, Sherry, for allowing us to be on the call tonight.
Bye. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, April, for coming to the call. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys,
for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful last day Founders Night, guys. Yay!
Woo!
See ya.